You're listening to and watching the QC STEP Podcast, a podcast to give you the information and the skills that you need to find a job, keep that job, and become a valuable employee. My name is Corey Finneran, and I am a transition specialist with the STEP program, and welcome to this, the 16th episode of the QC STEP Podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to share a few job leads with you, and then I'll talk with you about an event that's coming up this spring. So let's take a look at this week's job leads. These job leads are posted every Monday morning at qcstep.com, unless there's no school on Mondays like this week, and in that case, they will be posted on Tuesday mornings. There aren't a ton of job leads this week, but that's pretty typical for this time of the year, as I mentioned last week. The Lowe's in Moline, they are looking for a receiver/stalker. You have to be 18 to apply there, and the link to the online application is on our site, and it's under the post Job Leads January 22nd, 2013. The Best Buy in Davenport, they are looking for cashiers, and you can apply online from our site. The TJ Maxx in Davenport, they're hiring merchandise associates, and you can apply in person for TJ Maxx. And then we have two job leads for our graduates that we're still working with. Aldi, the various locations in the Quad Cities, so East Moline and Moline. I don't believe there's one in Rock Island. I think there's just the two. And you can apply in person. You have to be over 18 and have a GED or a high school diploma to apply there. And then Domino's Pizza is looking for delivery drivers, and you can apply online directly from our website. If you would like any information on any of these leads, there's a contact form at the bottom of this blog post. And if you fill that out, then Gary Maiden, Carrie Stewart, or myself will contact you. And if you know anybody that's hiring, or if you're working somewhere and you know that there's positions available where you work, you can share that information with other students by submitting it on our website. And on the right-hand side of the site, it says job lead submissions or something like that. And what you can do is just fill out the information. It's there at the top. And fill that information out and send that to us. And I would be happy to share it with everyone else. For all of the teachers that are out there watching and listening this week, I want to make sure that you're aware of our Spring STEP Inservice, and that is on Tuesday, February 5th, and it's at the Western Illinois University Quad Cities campus, and the in-service starts at 8:30 a.m. and it goes till 11:30 a.m., and there's a TPC meeting right after that, and in between those two meetings, there is a lunch, and they're serving it. It's a $5 charge, and that is through TPC. So for information on the TPC meeting or the lunch, you can email Deb Holmes. I'll put the email address right here. And if you have any questions about the STEP in service, you can contact Cindy Fike, Gary Maiden, Carrie Stewart, Don Carney, or myself. The event that I mentioned earlier in the episode that I wanted to talk about today is the Quad Cities Career Fair for people with disabilities. And that's an event that takes place every spring, and it's held at the iWireless Center in Moline, and a lot of you have probably gone to it before. This year, it's on Monday, March 4th, and this career fair is a really good opportunity to build some work-related skills that will help you prepare for interacting with potential employers. So over the next 5 episodes of the QC STEP podcast, I'm going to focus on this career fair and help you learn how to take advantage of this event. So I'm going to cover things like how to dress, how to introduce yourself to someone that you don't know and a potential employer, what kind of questions you should ask in this type of environment, and how to end a conversation. And I'm going to come up with a couple other things that I want to talk about too. So we're going to cover these things and a few more over the next 5 weeks to help you prepare for this and any job fair or career fair. And even if you're not going to be going to this particular career fair, I think these are skills that will help you know how to interact and start a conversation with any type of potential employer, whether it's turning in an application or in an interview or picking up an application. Just something that's going to help you get over that hump when it comes to those kind of unsure, awkward interactions that you have with people that you don't know real well, and they have something that you want, and that's a job. So next week, we're going to start with how to dress for a job fair or a career fair. But I want to hear from you. And what do you think people should wear to a job fair or a career fair? Send your answers to me, and I will read them on next week's podcast episode. So you can email them to me, the email address right here, info@qcstep.com. You can post them on our Facebook page, and you can get there by going to qcstep.com/Facebook, or you can tweet them to me if you use Twitter, and you can get them to us through that by tweeting @QCStep. So what I want to know is, what should you wear to a job fair or a career fair? And like I said, I will read them on next week's episode. So that does it for this, the 16th episode of the QC Step podcast. If you want to join the mailing list so you will be alerted as to when there's a new podcast episode out or any other news, you can join the mailing list on the right side of our website, and I won't be spamming your inboxes, and you won't get any more than one email a week. Thank you for listening and downloading this week's episode. I will be back next week, and we will be talking about what to wear to a job fair.